What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be looking ahead to Manchester City's big game against Liverpool that we have taking place in just over a week's time once the international break has been done and dusted. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below, including where do you think the dangers are here for Manchester City against Liverpool? How do you think this game can be won and lost? So, Liverpool currently only lost one game in the last 9 in all competitions, including 6 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss. They won their last game against Brentford at home at Anfield by 3-0. And I'll tell you right now, if this game was at Anfield, it would be causing me a lot of concern. And I know there's a lot of City fans out there who have been seeing the performance and taking hold of the result against Chelsea and judging Manchester City's current position where they find themselves in the league based on that game. Manchester City approached that Chelsea game with an all-out attack mentality. City wanted to go with, we'll score one more than you. Whereas with this Liverpool game, these games tend to be very narrow, very close games with lots of one-to-one battles happening on the pitch. That wasn't happening with Chelsea because Manchester City wanted to take the game to Chelsea as they felt that that was the best approach to try and win that game. We ended up coming out with a point at Stamford Bridge, which obviously City leading 3 times in that game, you'd be thinking to yourself, we should be coming out with 3 points. But in the end, it's a game when we had a ding-dong battle that we could easily have come out on the receiving end of, and we could have lost that game. And whilst it's great that Man City were clinical and we scored 4 goals, not so great defensively that Manchester City ended up conceding 4 goals. And the one thing I will say about this Liverpool game, City's defence needs to be much tighter. However, we are currently first in the Premier League. We right now, over the season, at this moment in time, are the best team in the Premier League. And so Manchester City need to build on that because big game against Chelsea, we drop points, but we don't lose. We're coming to this game against Liverpool. We are the home team. Liverpool could be up there at the end of the season. And when title races are very narrow and they're to be won within 6 points, which most title races are won within 6 points, it means it's very important the results you get against your rivals who are going to be sitting with you at the top of the Premier League. Don't forget, we've already lost against Arsenal away from home, so it means when they come to the Etihad, Manchester City, because I do suspect that Arsenal will be right near the top of the Premier League, we need to beat them at the Etihad. It's not a happy hunting ground to go to Anfield for Manchester City, so with that in mind, we can't afford to be dropping points here, then going to Anfield later in the season and losing there, because that then is Manchester City handing Liverpool 4 points, and then it's Manchester City only receiving 1 point from a possible 6 against Liverpool, which could be the difference between winning the Premier League and not winning the Premier League. So these games against our rivals have more importance than any other in the Premier League, in my opinion. And it doesn't really get any more difficult for City than what we've got in our next couple of games. Liverpool, followed by Tottenham Hotspur. 2 teams who have got off to a good start this season, who could be up there come the end of the season. Both these games, though, they're at the Etihad. All pressure's on Manchester City. We need to win them games. We need to put the pressure onto everybody else. We beat Liverpool, we beat Tottenham Hotspur. I think that puts Manchester City into an incredible position when it comes to trying to win the Premier League for a record 4 times in a row, which has never been done. And Liverpool are a great team, of course, but just look at their recent form away from home. In their last Premier League game against Luton, they were very lucky to come away with a point with a last-minute equaliser, drawing that game 1-1. Luton kept that game nice and tight, nice and compact, and was patient and made life difficult for Liverpool. Liverpool in their last away game in the Europa League lost 3-2 away against Toulouse as well. And the point I'm getting at here is if this was at Anfield, this would be a very difficult game for Manchester City. There's lots of man management that has to go into it. You have to change your approach. Whereas with this game being at the Etihad, Liverpool's away form recently not that brilliant. And I think if Man City, they need to find the right balance between being patient and defending and when to attack. They need to find that right balance. They didn't get that balance right against Chelsea. City have got some world-class analysis at their team. They've got the best manager in the world in Pep Guardiola as well. They will prepare for that match to win that game. It's going to be an absolute spectacle. It's going to be a brilliant game in the Premier League, where Man City are under all kinds of pressure going into this game because we are the home team. Liverpool, they'll be thinking if we can get a result at the Etihad, that puts them in a brilliant position to try and launch an assault to try and win the Premier League. Yeah, we're still early in the season, but every point matters and every game matters, and this game holds high importance when it comes to the conclusion of the Premier League in May. So Manchester City need to get their approach right. And at the moment, we've got some injuries looking ahead. Ederson, currently out injured, so it could be Stefan Ortega-Moreno going in goal. Mateo Kovacic, Matheus Nunes, both missing on international duty, could be missing from this game as well. We already know we're not going to have John Stones. We're not going to have Kevin De Bruyne as well. And all of a sudden, Man City look very short in midfield. That midfield, to me, already selecting itself. As long as they're fit, I'm expecting it to be Akanji going alongside Rodri. I'm expecting possibly Bernardo Silva to drop into the midfield and sit alongside Julian Alvarez to allow Phil Foden to go out wide. Foden could drift more into the middle and Foden goes out wide, but that's a very attacking lineup for Manchester City. It could, at the end of the day, be Pep Guardiola playing some mind games on Liverpool. Kovacic, Matheus Nunes, they could be good to go for this game. I don't think Man City are going to go with Kalvin Phillips, and I think one thing we do have to keep in mind, not necessarily for this Liverpool game, but certainly for the Tottenham Hotspur game in our next Premier League game, Rodri is on 4 yellow cards. He picks up a yellow card in this game, he will face a 1-match suspension, and we need him for that Tottenham Hotspur game, and so it's important that Rodri doesn't pick up a yellow card in this game. And looking further ahead, it's Aston Villa away from home. After that in the Premier League, it's Luton Town away from home in the Premier League. After that, it doesn't really get any easier for Manchester City. So Manchester City, as I said, they need to find that right balance, of course, but they also need to play a safe game, and they need to know when to be safe, when to attack, and patience could be key. And I think the key point to this Liverpool game, yeah, I want City to go out there and attack and score goals because obviously it puts you in a better position to potentially win that game. Liverpool's attack, it's very good. Got players like Luis Diaz who potentially is going to be available for selection, Jota, Salah, Nunes, Szoboszlai, Cody Gakpo, good players in attack that can move Liverpool's ball forward, that can cause Manchester City a lot of problems. Obviously, you've got distributors out there as well, players like Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's got a good corner kick on him, for example. Man City will need to make sure their marking at the near post is much better than what it has been. Certainly against Chelsea, it was very poor. So there are areas I think that Liverpool and their analysis are going to look to try and exploit against Manchester City. We need to play a patient, careful game. We also need to make sure that we don't focus too much on defence, that we forget to attack. And we also need to find that balance of making sure we're not focusing too much on attacking, that we leave ourselves vulnerable on the counter-attack, because Liverpool, like Chelsea, in fact, Liverpool's attack, in my opinion, is better than Chelsea, that will exploit Manchester City. So we need to get it right. We need to get our approach right. And I think keeping this as tight as possible for as long as possible, playing that patient game, work wonders for Luton Town. I consider Manchester City's defending, I would hope, to be better than that of Luton Town, that if we get ourselves in a position that we're ahead, we keep pushing to try and find that killer second goal, but we also make sure we're not making things easy for Liverpool. You're doing your marking, you're covering the space, you're making sure you're defending, you're tracking back. So to me, Jack Grealish starts in this game ahead of Jeremy Doku for me. And so I think everywhere else pretty much selects itself. Nathan Ake out injured, so Gvardiol's going to be starting. Ruben Diaz will be starting in this game. And it'll be Kyle Walker going on the right side of defence with covered midfield. Erling Haaland will be starting up top. One of Foden or Bernardo will go out wide, so the other call is Doku or Jack Grealish. I'll go with Jack Grealish because Mo Salah will cause a lot of problems on Manchester City's left-hand side. So I have an extra cover there for Josko Gvardiol, who's never gone up against Mo Salah. City need to make sure that they're tightening themselves up and not leaving themselves vulnerable. If we are vulnerable, Liverpool will exploit that, and this could be a very, very, very difficult game. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a really good game of football, and hopefully City can come out on top. I'm backing City to win this game. I think City win this game by 2 goals 1. So there we go, that has been my video for today. Do leave a thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new around here, it is free. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget, social media links, they're in the description. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, email also in the description too, if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And we'll be back again very soon for another Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.